Hello, welcome. Today we're going to talk about your menopausal bone health. My name is Tracy Montgomery. I talk about all things menopause, midlife, and all that goes with it. So, menopause. As we go through it, there are certain things that we need to be aware of. Certain changes that those hormones doing their little shit show and disappearing can create as we go through the perimenopause stage and on into postmenopause. Many of that can affect our bone health. So, key things we're going to talk about today: menopause, critical phase with your bone health, those hormonal shifts, particularly two hormones, we'll talk about those in a minute, and how those hormones can contribute to your decreased bone density and your increased risk of osteoporosis. So, what are the hormones we need to talk about? Two hormones that we often talk about throughout this menopausal phase: estrogen and progesterone. So, estrogen helps to maintain your bone density. And we know that during our menopausal journey, that profile will decline. So, this decrease in your estrogen affects your bone resorption and therefore can help with weakening your bones or aid weakening of your bones. Progesterone is the other hormone we need to talk about. So progesterone influences your bone formation. So putting these together, this means that as they deplete, as the hormones decrease, osteoporosis can increase. This is why you can get issues if you have falls, because if you break your bones when we are in our postmenopausal phase, it means that the bones themselves are slightly more brittle, so they can snap a little bit easier, but also the mending phase can take longer and quite possibly means that the bones are a bit weaker once they've mended. So, what can we do to address this? We can think about our diet and the nutrition that we are taking. So, we need to make sure that we have a balanced diet. We need to make sure that we are including the things like our leafy greens, our oily fishes, take care with the fats that you're taking. All of these contribute to helping maintain our bone density. Let's make sure that we get outside. We want that vitamin D. Vitamin D, I nearly invented a new vitamin then, didn't I? Vitamin D is imperative for our healthy bone. So make sure we get outside. Other nutrients that we need to be aware of, that we make sure that we're taking in sufficient quantities, are magnesium, our vitamin K, and zinc. Now, if we have a varied diet, we probably consume enough of those. There is some evidence that has been pointed to having to take extra vitamin D during the winter months because we don't go out as much, because when we go out, we either go out, if we're working still, we go out in the morning, we go out at night, we miss the daylight hours. So there is some evidence that during the winter we should take vitamin D. What we also need to make sure that we maintain is our exercise regimes and our physical activity. So our muscles are going to lose their own density and strength along with our bones if we don't use them. So if we are sat down all day and we're not using our body, it's going to weaken. So moving around, regular activity, regular exercise keeps the blood flowing, therefore keeps our structure, the bits that hold us up, a lot stronger because we move the blood around and they're being used. It's that old use it or lose it. You can tell I'm in menopause because if you listen to how I speak, sometimes I get things muddled and I turn them around and all that sort of thing. It's what happens. So, along with your exercise, it's the old age, think about your lifestyle choices. Think about how much you're smoking, think about how much alcohol you're taking, think about your caffeine intake, because these can all negatively impact your bone health. And then, if we are still concerned, then obviously you can talk to a medical professional. They may decide to put you on HRT, which you could possibly have started on in the perimenopausal phase. And keeping on HRT can help with your hormonal levels, therefore helping to maintain your bone density. That is a conversation that you would need to have with a medical professional, because you may or may not be eligible for HRT therapies. So, things that we know. We know that our hormonal profile change can affect our bone health and bone density. We know that lifestyle choices are imperative at this stage, because they as well can also exacerbate anything that our hormones are doing. So the sedentary lifestyle is going to impact our bone density, our bone health, and our muscular health as well. It's always good to talk to people about it if you're concerned. Talk to a medical professional if you need to. And, or as well, you can come and join us in menopause, midlife, and all that goes with it, where we discuss these in more detail. Hope that's been useful to you. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.